Hey YouTube, this is Racing's Natural Aquarium coming to you with an unboxing. Unfortunately, my Phoenix 24/7 Planet Plus, which was doing excellent, I kind of burned up this morning. Not paying attention, put the cord in backwards, and it seemed to kill it. So I'll mess with that another day, but I had to get another light and decided let's give Fluval a try. 3-year warranty, kind of stand behind their products. So what I have here is the Fluval Pro. That price is just there. It's not what I paid for it. High spectrum multi-specimen LED, 5 unique band waves, ultimate slim design, waterproof, dimmable, 5,000 hours. Now I did see Corey's video on this, which from Aquarium Co-ops, which kind of made me really decide to go for this light. As you see, German design, 3-year warranty, and this is the 48 to 60 model. And with this, you can either suspend it within the cabinet, on the frame, so a lot of mounting to that. 120 degree spread down to 18 inches, so on these 55-gallon tanks, this should basically, because you figure if you're, most 55 gallons are 18 inches top to bottom. After you put an inch or two of substrate, you're right up here around 16 inches or so. So you're between 82 par at 4960 lux to upwards of 136 at 9350 lux. I know a lot of people had complained about the button, touching it, trying to get it to work, and spending that $100 to get the Wi-Fi connection, which to me is a little ridiculous. But if you touch it lightly, it should cycle through your modes. If you hold it down, it'll gradually brighten and dim and so on. But this was the wireless function that I mentioned. I saw it in 2 stores today, one at $89.99 and one at $99.99. So not really something that I need. So let's open this up and see what we've got. I looked at the Aqua Sky, but I really didn't care for that too much because of how narrow it actually was. And unfortunately, with something like that, I would have to constantly slide it back and forth on my tank in order to get lights to all my plants. So I figured this was a better option. Yes, it's a little more expensive than some of the other lights that are out there, but I really think Corey's video on Aquarium Co-op really brought this home with throwing it in a tank for over an hour and whatnot. It really seemed to make a difference, because I know there's a couple times I've kind of knocked mine off. So once again, this is the Fluval Pro 2.0. As you can see, the various, sorry for lighting, light spectrums, full spectrum at the various Kelvins. So we're going to see how it's going to do. Now I know with changing the lights, I can definitely expect, possibly expect some brown dianthon algae as when you change lighting. It's very possible it could happen. Who knows? As we all know, not every tank is different. Actually, even the girl that I was talking to at my local fish store had said, you know, you're going to get that dianthon. And I was like, well, you know, if I do, I do. But, you know, as the tank readjusts to a new lighting, it will eventually go away, so I'm not worried about it. Definitely a solidly built giant metal heat sink. Now the Aqua Sky, for some of you that haven't seen it out of the box, it's about that wide. So it's half. This is technically 2 Aqua Skies. It looks like where this rail is, if you were to cut it, that was the size of one of the Aqua Skies. And in general, they're pretty good for just illuminating a tank. If you're growing lights, it's going to be hit or miss. Screw in plug, 4-way plug, which this is kind of where I fried my Phoenix that's been working for well over a year, and as I mentioned was doing great. They have this little plastic tip in here. There it is right there. And that's so that you put it into the receiving end of your power supply correctly. So that has a little channel in it. So I don't know if you can see. There it is. That channel actually keeps you from doing it wrong so that you don't fry it like I do. So I'm not sure how many of you have seen the video review that Corey did on this before he started putting it in the store. So I figured I would make a unboxing here. And I will tell you, out of the box, this is definitely a solid piece of metal. It almost feels like I'm holding on to a shotgun. Very, very tough. Definitely has some weight to it. Got a nice long cord in order to reach down to the bottom of these stands. So if you're going to put it onto a 60, you have these outriggers, as I'll call them, to fit the edge of your tank. This is a metal with a thick plastic end. Not sure if you'll be able to see the quality of the LEDs. So, same on both sides. And over here is your switch for going through the various cycles. So let's get this plugged in and see how bright this baby is. Alright, there is a gasket underneath this nut where it goes to the power supply. So right now it's connected and plugged in, and I still haven't unraveled it. Nice long reach. So here's the light that everybody seems to have problems with. So you just touch it, it's on. Touch it again, go into moonlight phase. And then off. Now if you turn it on and you hold it, it gets brighter. Tap it, you go to blue. Hold it down, and it dims. So pretty responsive, at least in my opinion. So let's see how bright. Whoa! I'll give you an idea. This is the blue mode, which the camera probably not going to pick up. So we're at the end of a queen size bed with a white wall. It lights that wall right up, all the way up to the ceiling with no problem. See how brightly lit the box is? That's only about a foot away. So you can definitely see this baby is going to put out some serious light. And as you, camera's not going to pick it up. But here you've got two yellow, pinkish whites, red and blue, red and blue, red and blue, red and blue, and the red and blue carries along with that series of like a off white or off yellow light all the way down. So it's definitely, as you can see, 4 rows. It's definitely blinding. And whew, it's getting brighter. So you can definitely see, baby puts out some light. And there's your blue lights. And as you see, if I hold it, it'll dim them right down. And then off. So I know watching the one video that Corey from Aquarium Co-op had done with the lighting, he had it actually on the box. It said, I thought it said like 136 par at 12 inches, all the way up to 545 par at 3 inches, and 288 at 6 inches. Now in his tank it was 12 inches. He was using a new meter, par meter, with some water ripples at the top, and he was getting, I want to say, 136 or 152, somewhere in there, but he was getting strong par at that light. Now my Phoenix 24/7 Plus, I was getting light down to the bottom. My crypts, definitely growing well, even under the shade of the crenums. The boost that I had, very tucked up underneath a piece of driftwood, getting light. My Bacopia, in the beginning, was actually starting to get very leggy because they were close together. I decided to trim them and replant them, and they took off. They started growing well. They were no longer leggy. They weren't bushing up because they weren't next to each other. My sword started taking off. So, you know, that is an alternative to what the price point of this light is. On average, out there, you're going to find it at about $189 to $199. Now, Corey does have them for $174.99, and that shipped. So that's an excellent price, and I'm actually trying to price match my local fish store because they're the only ones around me that carry it out of 5 fish stores. It seems the chain stores carry the marine version of this, but not the freshwater. So I don't understand the philosophy there, but you'll carry the Aqua Sky. Excuse me. So because my light died, and I don't want my plants to start to die back, especially after I just got everything in sync and balanced out, I had to run and get this one. So let's put it on the tank and see how she looks. Alright, got it installed on the tank. And as you guys know, it's a 55, and as you can possibly see down here, I still have not unwound the top part of the cord. The transformer is on the floor, it's plugged into the wall, so it's out of harm's way in case water drips. It definitely has a low profile. My fingers are just touching the bottom side of that, which will definitely help with the par further down. The Phoenix on my tank literally sat up about that high. So this is definitely nice. It sits right on the edge. You don't have the remote hanging, the RIR blaster cord hanging. So let's see what it looks like. No, it's not too bad. That's all the LEDs lit. And it won't focus, unfortunately. So let's see. That's in night mode. Brighten it up. So as you can see, it's definitely pretty bright on night mode. So we'll hit it now on the little daytime, and we'll raise it up to its highest. And there you have it. A nice spread of light. Put it back in the middle, let's see. It's definitely covering the front. Now with my Phoenix 24, this area was semi-dark. I always had to take and move this light back and forth in order to get light back here in the corners. But as you can see, it's pretty much, even through this menagerie of octopus plant, it's reaching the bottom pretty well. So I have to say, I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how well this light does. I mean, of course, down here there's some heavy growth, but you're still getting some light penetration out to where the roots would be. I did do some root tabs this morning and did a water change, but I definitely like how low this sits. I am getting very little bleed out. At least I can sit and watch TV and it's not going to be bleeding out as heavy as the Phoenix did. Dim it down. Phoenix Fresh and Plant 2.0. Impressive light in my opinion. Yes, it's expensive, but as Corey pointed out, in this day and age, yeah, you can spend $50-$60 on a light. I think it's the Aquadent, a Beams Work, a Marine Land, which I gotta tell you, I was at my other local fish store before I went to this one, and they had a Marine Land light, 48 inches, $330. I don't mean to offend any of you Marine Land lovers out there, but I would never pay $325 for a Midland light. You can buy a Kessel light for that and have the top of the line or middle of the line light. So, you know, they say you get what you pay for. I mean, you get a Beams Work, yeah, $60-$70, and they'll last. But, you know, I feel that with a 3-year warranty and, you know, a company that stands behind their product, if something goes wrong, they have no problem sending a replacement part. If the power supply goes defective, you got another one in the mail. If something happens to the light, I'm pretty sure they'll either have you send it in or send you a new one and send that one back, but I haven't got that far into it. I hope I never have to utilize the warranty. So do yourself a favor, if you have the extra cash, give it a try. I will do an update at some point on the plant growth. As you saw in the tank now, that's all Fluval, or that was all the Phoenix 24/7 growth. I was using Thrive All-in-One. I was using Seachem root tabs. In another video I spoke about price points and how different stores within, you know, a few miles of each other charge different pricings. So I did make a video, an unboxing from Aquarium Co-op on the Rapashi that I got, which I'm going to make a batch up tomorrow, and as well as H20 plants. And just wanted to throw this in the end of the video. After I was finished with the video, I opened up the bag that the Vital tabs, the root tabs that I got from Justin over at H20 Plants, put in there, and he put in a nice letter thanking, you know, for the purchase and how, you know, by supporting him and buying plants and stuff, that he passes on the savings to us and so on. But as I opened it up, which I wish I had done in the video, basically, and how to take care of the plants, how to propagate, and then on the back of the cards were his contacts, which is great. And then, as I did show in the video, he showed some of the innards of these capsules, which I didn't open on camera, but these are like horse pills. The caplets are probably about that big, maybe the size of my pinky to here, and probably just as round. Clay based, so I'm going to see how that grows, how that goes, because you get for $7.99 you get 25 tabs. So I know Corey sells them, and I'll probably try his down the road depending on how these go. But in the video on the right hand side of the tank, I know it came up in the Aquarium Co-op live stream, or in Bob Steenfot's stream, about a fast growing plant. That octopus plant is in the right corner, has grown up and over and intermingled into my wisteria. And it's created this haven so that my neons and some of my more skittish fish have a place to hide. I have baby shrimp up in there, bought and shipped from LR Brett's, thank you. They're doing well, they've had babies, and I've had no interaction in breeding them. It's just the tank is naturally set up and things are naturally happening. I found by surprise a couple weeks ago that there were baby Cory in there. So that was good. I have plenty of baby platies. I have plenty of baby guppies. So, at any rate, I digress. So if you're looking for a fast plant, and mind you, I have yet to take that out of that little plastic pail that Corey ships it in, the little basket. The roots have actually bulged out the side, and I just happened to look at my tank on the side when I was cleaning today, and there's several roots that have already grown down between the gravel, the Echo Complete, and the side of the glass. So it's doing well. So if you want a fast growing plant that you can use in the backgrounds, in the corners, check out the octopus plant at aquariumcoops.com. I think it's still running. Use Big Steam for 10% off your order. There's a couple other plants in there that I got from Justin H2O Plants. If you go and check him out at h2oplants.com and use the code ROB, R-O-B, D as in David, 10, you get 10% off your order as well. So I appreciate that they extended that so that I could extend it to you, and that you could get some plants or root tabs or whatever and give them a try. So as I said, I'll do an update on that and see how everything takes off now that I've got some different root tabs in there. I still do the Thrive All-in-One, which made a big difference when it came to not using the flourish. I wasn't getting the melt on my swords, and I wasn't getting any, I was actually getting a lot of algae. So to combat that, I did switch to the Thrive All-in-One and dosed a little bit more than recommended. And I did have some blackbeard and some regular algae mixed in with my moss, which really, for the moss, wasn't a big deal. It just gave more of a hiding place for the shrimp and some of the baby fry that were in there. And so I dosed API's CO2 booster a little bit heavier than I normally would. And between that and the snails, my algae's pretty much gone. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, it's quite possible I might wind up with brown diatom algae because of switching the light, but we'll see what happens. I'll come back, I'll do an update. Sorry I was rambling here, but hope this helped you out in your efforts of looking for another LED. I think the big plus for me, yeah, I could have spent about $129 at Aqua Cave and got another 24/7 light. And with my discounts and my points, it would have been maybe $100, give or take, and that shipped. So Having that short warranty from Finex was kind of the downer for me. Knowing that I have 3 years behind this Fluval, I'm pretty sure it's going to outlast it. So give it a try, check it out. And as always, like, subscribe, comment. God bless. This is Racing's Natural Aquariums. Keep your sleeves wet. Peace. So one last thing before I wrap up, as I mentioned in the video from H20 plants, I had opened it, and as you see, gives you instructions as far as sterilizing any plants, the thank you and your code, a letter about his S1 premium flake food. And as I mentioned before, this is the material that's in these root tabs. So he sent along that sample so that you could check it out and have an idea of what's in there. And then, as I mentioned, he put in these cool keynotes for the plants. And these are the root tabs. They come sealed and peel off the top. And there's the tab. So maybe they weren't as big as my pinky, but it's a nice sized tablet. Sorry about the sink. And you get 25 in the pack. So I figure it's worth trying out. Ziploc to keep them fresh. So that was pretty cool as well. And of course he gives you the H20 stick, or an H20 plant sticker symbol. Looks like that. So again, check out his website and use the code and save 10% off your order. Once again, this is Racing's Natural Aquariums. Keep those sleeves wet. You take care of the water, and that'll take care of the fish. Peace.